Hi and welcome to class. I'm Kate. I'm an English teacher here on Verbling. And today's class is a speaking-focused class where we'll be talking about past and present hypothetical or unreal situations. And so, of course, in doing that, we will be practicing the second and third conditionals. So to talk about these hypothetical and unreal situations in the past and the present. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. I feel like on Fridays I always have like a little bit of a cold.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's like I'm worn down from the week. I don't know. Anyway, welcome, students. Hi, Ali.
Hi, Kate, again.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Good, good, good. Have you been working a lot today?
No, you know.
No, you've been in classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when do you have time to work?
I don't know.
No, yeah.
I finished my work yesterday.
Nice. I guess that's the good thing about being your own boss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'm happy to have you back.
Thank you.
And hi, Maria.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Very well because now it's Friday, so
It's Friday. I know everyone's happy now. It's Friday.
yeah.
Maria, do you have any plans for the weekend?
Not at all. I have
No.
no, not at all.
I'm the same way. I'm like, my plan is sleeping.
Yeah, to recover from the rest of the week.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, good. And remind me again of where you're from.
I'm from the south of Spain.
Oh, okay, cool. Very nice. So is it the weather still warm there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a word we say here is verano and otoño, and we have invented a word saying veroño because it's autumn, but with climate from summer.
From summer, yeah. That's funny.
Mm.
I like that. Cool. Well, nice to have you here. And hello, Alex.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm fine.
Good. Just fine. You're not as excited as the rest of us that it's the weekend?
Yes, it's okay.
It's okay. Do you have any plans?
I have no plans by now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I will relax, get some exercise. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, that's what the weekends are for, relaxing.
Hmm, yes.
Okay, and hi again, Mustafa.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
Doing well. How about you?
I am doing good. I am actually, very excited for tomorrow because the Classico tomorrow.
Right, I forgot. Gosh, I live in Barcelona and I forgot.
Oh, I am fan of Real Madrid.
I feel like that's a big like sin or something. I just have never been that into sports, and so I kind of like have to pretend that I am now that I live in Spain. So I have to like act like I'm into soccer, but so thank you for reminding me.
Yeah,
Okay, so you'll be watching that tomorrow?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Okay, and who else is here? Man or Man?
Yeah, hi teacher.
Hi. Hi. How do you pronounce your name?
Mike.
Mine.
Mike. Yes.
Is that okay? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Very nice to meet you. I'm Kate. I'm an English teacher from the U.S.
Nice.
Where are you calling from?
I'm from Vietnam.
From Japan.
Vietnam.
From Vietnam. From Vietnam. Ah, okay. Very cool. Very nice. And how long have you been using Verbling?
Just a few months, but just few months.
A few months. Very cool.
Yeah.
And hi, Charo.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Charo, I don't think we've met before, have we?
It's the first time, yes.
Your first time. Okay, cool. And Charo, where are you from?
I'm from Spain,
From Spain. Where in Spain are you from?
from the south.
Ah, also from the south of Spain. Ah, from Seville. Very nice. Cool. Maria is also from the south of Spain.
Ah, so
And Seville too.
Ah, look at that. You guys are neighbors.
yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, so welcome everyone. It's for those of you who I haven't met before, it's very nice to meet you. Again, I'm Kate or Caitlin, whatever you prefer. I'm an English teacher from the United States, but I currently live in Barcelona. So today's class is very focused on speaking. We'll be talking about unreal and hypothetical situations in the present and past. And to do that, we will be focusing on the second and third conditionals. So, so sort of the extent to which we review these conditional tenses will depend on all of you, essentially. I know some of you are going to say, do not review them. I don't want to hear you talk about them one more time, Ali. And
No,
but others
okay.
but so tell me, I want to have an idea of, how you feel about these tenses, this type of grammar. Have you all studied the conditionals? Could you give me an example of a second and third conditional sentence? So let's start with the first question. Have you all studied these tenses before?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And how do you feel about them? Are you comfortable with them? Do you find them difficult?
Yeah, I find it easy when you study them, but when you have to practice,
Yeah.
because sometimes you can interchange second conditional with third, so it can be a bit confused.
Of course. Yeah. Good. So absolutely, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this class, because I know a lot of students said, okay, it makes sense when you explain it, and we have 20 seconds to figure it out, but when I'm speaking, I forget, or I can't come up with the right structure. Good. Anyone else?
I studied them actually. I for maybe one time, and now I forgot them.
Have you never done them with me, Mustafa?
Yeah, one time, and now I am looking for them. I don't know where I record my notes.
Okay, so you need to be more organized. Okay, and Ali knows them like the back of his hand. Let's see, Alex, what about you? Have you studied? Yeah, you've studied them with me, right?
Yes, I have
Yeah.
studied them many times, but when I'm speaking, I use them correctly, but when I focused on these rules, I make mistakes.
Interesting. Okay, so you feel like in speaking they come more naturally, and then when you're
Mhm.
actually focusing on the rules is when you make mistakes.
Yes, yes.
So maybe you shouldn't do this class, right?
Yeah, I have to practice. I have to
Okay, you have to practice. Okay, good. And Charo, what about you?
Yeah, it's the same as Alex. With my speaking, I forget it, so I have to practice.
Mhm. Mhm. And Man? Man?
Hi.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. I just go out and now I'm here.
No problem, no problem. So have you studied the second and third conditionals? Do you sort of know? Do you feel comfortable with them?
Just I studied and I use them when I study at high school.
Okay. And how recently was that?
Sorry?
How long ago was high school? Was it a long time ago, or was it fairly
Just a long time ago.
a long time ago? Okay. All right. Okay, good. And we just had someone else join us, who is Arena.
Yes.
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
Good. Arena, where are you calling from?
I am from Russia.
From Russia. Very cool. So I was just asking the other students about their experiences with the conditional tenses. So have you studied the second and third conditionals? Do you feel comfortable with them?
Conditionals. Do you mean it's like
The if-then sentences? Don't worry, because I'll give you some examples.
Yeah, I'll.
Okay. All right. So we'll just do a quick review of the second and third conditional for those of you who have forgotten, Mustafa, and others, and then we will get started with our speaking activity. Okay. So conditional basics. Two parts in conditional sentences. The first part is the if clause. You know it's the if clause because it literally always starts with if. And then there's the main clause. So the main clause does not have an if in it, and that's how you know it's the main clause. And it's usually separated from the if clause with a comma. In the if clause, we give a situation that is possible, and then in the main clause, we talk about the likely outcome if the thing in the if clause happens. Okay? So if this happens, then this will happen. If it rains tomorrow, we will not come. Okay, and for those of you who are quite familiar with the conditionals, can someone tell me what type of conditional this sentence is?
First.
Okay, and why is that, Ali?
Because it's likely and it's in case if it rains, you will not come.
Yeah, it's something that's very possible that this will happen, right? It's not at all an unlikely situation. It's certainly possible. And we're saying what we will do if that is the case, but we don't know. And what verb tenses are we using here?
What?
What verb tenses are we using?
In if clause, simple present, and the main clause is future tense.
Good, great. Okay, and so this is the most basic type of conditional, and we're not going to be using this in our speaking today. So we're going to jump down to something that's a little trickier, which is the second conditional. Okay, and so let's look at this example scenario and see if we can just refresh our memories of the structure of the second conditional. So as Ali said, the first conditional is something we use to talk about real possible outcomes for present and future events. The second conditional is something we use to talk about hypothetical or unlikely situations. Okay? So let's see. Maria, can you read this slide, please?
Yes. Jack wants to buy a house, but he can't do this because he doesn't have any money. And the example is, if I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house.
Okay, great. So, so what's happening in this sentence? Here, in the if clause, right, we have the past simple. We have the past simple. And in the main clause, instead of the future, we use would. Would plus the infinitive. Right, so, so Arina, can you read this bottom part of the slide?
Okay. The second conditional refers to the present and future. It expresses an unreal situation and its probable results. The situation or condition is improbable, impossible, imaginary, or contrary to known facts.
Thank you very much. Okay, so so can someone give me a brief summary of how the second conditional is different from the first conditional?
We use second conditional normally in hypothetical situations or imaginary situations.
Good. Yeah. And the first conditional then is for what?
And the first conditional is used for real situations that involves cause and effect.
Good. And in the first conditional, are we talking about the past or the present or the future?
In the second?
First.
In the first. In the first, we use present and the future.
Good. But are we talking about, is the situation we're talking about are we talking about something happening in the past, something happening in the present, or something happening in the future?
When we use the first conditional, we are talking about future.
Yeah, we're talking about present and future, right? Present and future. Good. And what about with the second conditional? Are we talking about past, present, or future?
Present and future.
Yeah, you have it right here, right? So basically, the difference then, both first and second conditional, we're talking about the present and future. The difference is how likely these events are, right? How likely they are. So if they're more realistic scenarios, we use first. And if they're unreal or imaginary situations, hypotheticals, as Al said, we will use the second conditional. Questions?
The question about the second conditional, teacher. You said the tense is past and the future.
Past and the modal verb would.
So with the future.
So this is in the future. So here we have would, the modal verb, and then just the base verb. So the infinitive without to.
Okay. So this is the future. Past and the future.
No, this is not the future. We only use the future in first conditional.
Oh, okay. So what this mean if it's not future?
Okay, so here, so in first conditional we have present and future.
Okay.
Right? If the weather is nice, we will go for a walk. So I'm saying this is absolutely a possible situation, and if this is the situation, which is certainly possible or even probable, this is what we will do. Now imagine that you live in Antarctica, right? And it's freezing all the time. Okay, so somewhere where it's literally never nice weather. You might instead use a second conditional to describe this phenomenon. And can anyone tell me what the second conditional version of this sentence would be?
If the weather was nice, we would go for a walk.
Perfect, right? And so the difference here, this is in a normal place. This is in Antarctica. Okay, right? So somewhere where it's freezing, it's raining, it's snowing, you literally can't even leave your house, but you're imagining, well, the weather isn't going to be nice. It's extremely unlikely, but if it was or were nice, we would go for a walk. Does that help, Mustafa?
Yeah, it's help, but actually, teacher, I think it is I know the difference. It's a normal place, and the second one is hypothetical or something like this. But that's all. Both of them talk about the future, but one of
Okay.
them is hypothetical.
Okay. Yes. Sorry. Okay. So here in the first conditional, we are using a future tense. But when I say it talks about the future, I just mean that the scenario we're talking about, that we're referring to, so ignore the verb tenses, is in the future or present.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Okay, all right, we talked about that. And then what happens with the third conditional? Okay, so let's look at how this is different from the second conditional. So, oh, and I didn't welcome the new student. Wislav?
Yes, hello.
Hi, how do you say your name?
Thank you, I'm very well. What about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And how do you pronounce your name?
Vyacheslav. It was good.
Oh, okay, Wislav. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Nice to have you here. Okay, so Wislav, can you read this slide, please?
Jack wanted to buy a house last year, but he couldn't do that because he didn't have any money. If I had a lot of money, I would have bought a big house.
Good. If I had a lot of money, I would have bought a big house. Okay, so this is the third conditional, and as you can see, it gets a little bit complicated. So here's the structure of the third conditional. In the if clause, we have the past perfect, right? And in the main clause, we have the past conditional. So it's basically, if you take the second conditional and put everything a little bit further back in the past. Okay, so here, again, in the if clause, we have the past perfect, had known. In the main clause, we have would plus have plus the participle. Okay, so when do we use the third conditional? Is the next question we want to answer. Charo, can you read the bottom of this slide?
Yes. The third conditional refers to the past and is not based on facts. It expresses a situation which is contrary to reality in the past.
Good. Okay. Contrary to reality in the past. So in the first and second conditionals, remember, we were talking about the present and future. But here, we're talking about the past. So when we actually want to talk about situations that, like alternative pasts, so we're imagining a different past, we will use the third conditional. Okay? So Jack did not have a lot of money and he did not buy a house. But in this sentence, he's imagining how the situation would have been different if he had had a lot of money. Okay, so it's very unreal. It's contrary to reality in the past. And quickly, we can just look at an example of the second and third conditionals. Let's see. Reem, you've just joined us.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm
Good.
just listening for my first time and just listening.
Oh, okay, well, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Do you mind muting your microphone?
I don't have, I'm afraid to say it.
Oh, that's okay. Here, I'll do it.
My sound is not good?
No, I think I got it. There was just some background noise, so I just muted you. But if you want to speak, feel free to unmute the microphone. Okay. All right. Let's see. Who hasn't read? Alex, can you read this slide, please?
Okay. The examples?
Yes.
Okay. If I saw a car accident, I would call an ambulance. But I don't see an accident now. This is unlikely to happen. If I had seen a car accident, I would have called an ambulance, but I didn't see an accident yesterday. this is contrary to the fact in the past.
Thank you. Okay, so here, as it says, the difference is about time. Okay, so second conditional, yes, both are talking about sort of hypotheticals or unlikely situations, but the third conditional is more extreme, right? The second conditional is still about unlikely events in the present or future, whereas the third conditional is about simply impossible things, because we're talking about something that, an alternative to something that happened in the past. So we're imagining the past in a different way. Okay, so that's kind of my crash course on the second and third conditionals. Are there questions? Okay, so let's get to speaking. Oops. Okay.
We
All
can,
right.
yes.
Yes.
When you can mix the second and third conditional. Because I have read some books in which they mix both conditionals,
Yes.
the second and the third one.
Yeah, and that's usually so if you're yes. Okay, so we'll get to that when we look at some examples in the third conditional. Will you remind me when we start to talk about, when we do the third conditional speaking activity?
Okay.
Okay, so remind me then, because that will be a very important point.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to start by talking about some hypotheticals. Okay, we'll just talk about some hypothetical scenarios. And so I want you to use the second conditional and try to respond to these questions in a creative way. Okay? So, for instance,
Sorry,
yes.
I have a question about the second conditional.
Okay.
The second? Yes, it is the second. No, sorry, the third conditional.
Yes, the third.
Yeah, you said present and future, okay?
No,
The third conditional is for the past.
for the
Past. And the second, present and future.
Yes, correct.
Okay, okay, clear.
Good. Okay, it's good. All right, and feel free to ask questions as we're doing this. It's difficult. Okay, so I will start off with an open question. Let's see. If you changed your name, what name would you choose and why? If you changed your name, what name would you choose and why? This is an open question. Anyone who has a response can answer.
If I was able to change my name, I would choose Annabelle, because it's a name which I have liked since I was a child.
Very nice. It's a pretty name. And one thing I just want to point out, so Maria changed the structure a little bit and said, if I was able to change my name, curiously, we can use was or were in that case. We can say, if I were able to change my name. And this is just an exception, because of course the correct normal past tense there is was, but people vary between was and were. Okay, just a side note. All right, other students.
What's the question, teacher?
If you changed your name, what name would you choose and why?
If I was able to choose my name, I wouldn't choose anyone because I like the name I have.
Good. 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 Perfect. Anyone else?
If I were to change my name, I would change the name on Sigismundo because it's very strange.
That is very strange. Okay, good. And just one small thing. I think you said if I were change my name, you combine those two structures. So you just want to use the simple past and say, if I changed my name, so either if I changed my name or if I were able to change my name, I would change it to da-da-da. Does that make sense?
Yes, clear.
Okay, perfect. Good. Okay, if you were in control of verbling, what would you change?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Of course, yes. I'll actually write it in the verbling box. If you were in charge of verbling, what would you change? And so just so everyone knows, to be in charge of means to lead or to own.
If I were in charge of Berlin, I would add more options, monthly fee options.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and why is that?
No, for example, there's option like a $19 option for 10 lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And there's $49 option for unlimited, but I want something in between, like for example,
okay.
20 lessons.
Got it.
To add something.
Okay, good, good.
Okay.
Anyone else? Yeah, Mustafa.
Sorry, teacher. In the answer, I know if I can say if I were in charge of verbling. Can I say if I controlled verbling, or I have to?
Yep. No, you can say if I controlled in the past.
Okay. Okay. If I were in charge of verbling, I would create active platform between serious member. Okay.
An active forum between serious members.
Serious member like we are who subscribe to the classes, so it will become like active forum between us, and we can contact between each other. This is like missing in the verbling.
Very interesting. So, you know, a place where you could ask each other questions and connect outside of class.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Can I say if I had a charged person, I would prefer adding Skype media. Is that right?
Almost, but you're mixing conditionals. So, so you use the beginning of a third conditional.
Yes, I use the third conditional.
You want to use the second conditional here, right? Because third conditional is talking about the past, and we're talking about the future, right? Or the present. So if I were in charge of verbling,
if I were,
did you say?
Yes, I would prefer adding Skype media.
Good. You would add Skype media. Great. Good.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'm just going to mute you because of the background noise. Okay. All right. Anyone else?
I have a question. So we are talking now on second conditional, okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, right.
Yes.
If sorry. Go on, go on.
Please start.
Very polite. Okay, Alex, you start.
Okay. If I were in charge of verbling, I would add more descriptive and writing classes because I like a lot.
Interesting. You would add more writing classes.
Writing and this descriptive.
What do you mean descriptive?
like describing images, photos, pictures.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. A lot of people don't like the writing classes. Those are always my smallest classes. So I'm happy that you like them.
I like.
Good. Okay. And who else was trying to speak before?
Me?
Okay. Go ahead.
If I were in charge of Verbling, I would look for the new way of advertising in different countries.
Okay. Cool. And so does Verbling advertise in your country? Just curious.
Yes, in every country. If I read something on Google, always in one corner, it's advertising of Verbling.
Yeah, for me as well. And I want to respond. I already teach on Verbling. You don't have
Because
to advertise to me.
we work with Verbling, but
Yes.
what about the other people?
Right, that's true, yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. Great. Good. Okay. So you've had a taste of what these questions are like. I want to see if any of you can think of a question that uses the second conditional structure that you want to ask your classmates. So can any of you come up with a question like the ones I've been giving you?
Yes, can I add?
Uh-huh.
What would you do if you have $1 million?
Classic question, right?
Yes.
Okay, what would you do if you had $1 million? I love this question. Okay, have at it, students.
If I had $1 million, the first thing I would do, it would travel around the world.
Good, but Maria, be careful. The first thing I would do would be to drive around the world.
Okay, thank you.
Good, but yeah, great. You would drive around the world.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you fly around the world?
Sorry, teacher. How much she offer for? How much she offer for us?
$1 million. $1 million.
Oh, $1 million. Okay. If I had $1 million, I would give them to the charity.
Oh, how nice. Would you give all of it away?
All of it to the charity.
All of it. Very nice. Ali.
If I had $1 million, I would count my money every day.
I love it. You would just sort of bathe in your money.
You know, I am an accountant.
That's true. That's true.
I love waste of money.
All right, good. Anyone else? Who's been quiet? Mine? What would you do?
Yes, if I had $1 million, I would invite you to teach me only me.
You would do private classes.
Yes.
Good. That means I could charge a lot, right? If you had $1 million? No? Okay. Right.
Can I add? If I had $1 million, I would buy Verbling.
You would buy Verbling, okay. And then you would convert it to a Skype platform?
Yes, everything I will do.
Okay, good. And Charo, what about you?
If I had $1 million, I would have my home business.
You would have your own business.
Yes.
Cool. And what would your business be?
Well, I really, my dream is to manage an hotel. So
Very cool.
probably an hotel, a small hotel.
Would you want to have the hotel in Spain or in a foreign country?
I think in Spain.
In
I
Spain.
really want to stay here.
Good. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Anyone else?
Okay, I can go.
Okay.
If I had $1 million, I would start some kind of foundation that pays for people's education.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that a lot. Cool. Very good. Anyone else?
If I had $1 million, I wouldn't be as stressed as I am now.
You wouldn't be as stressed as you are now. What are you stressed about?
Well, by many things. One of these is the lack of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand.
Mm.
Good. All right. So, I have another question for all of you. And this one I want to hear from everyone. So start thinking. If you were the leader of your country, what would you do or change? So if you were the leader of your country, what would you do or change, and why?
If I were a leader of my country, I would earn very well.
You would earn very well. That's true. Good. Others, I want to hear from everyone. Go ahead.
If I were the leader of my country, I would eliminate all the corruption in my country.
Good. Good. Great.
If I were the leader of my country, I would change the name of my country.
Mm-hmm. You would change. Okay. Yes. What would you change it to?
I don't know. Maybe I change it to an ancient name, maybe Anatolia or Mesopotamia or something.
Okay. So something that's maybe more neutral.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it refers only one ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
If you say Turkey or Turkish, you it's imply only one ethnicity, but it's not good for the other people who live in my country.
Okay. Very interesting. Good. The rest of you, I want to hear from everyone.
Can I add?
Yes.
I would increase if I yes. I forgot. If I were the leader of my country, I would increase the income of my nation, and I will build many charities for poor people and especially elder people.
Very nice. Perfect. Very good.
But there are many things to change. I will change everything.
There are too many things to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the world we live in today, right?
Sorry, teacher. Just she said, I think Reem, she said the first part of the sentence, she would and she will. Is that correct? And she will, or she would also?
She said, if I were.
Yeah, and if I were what? Sorry.
If I were the leader of my country,
Yes.
I would da-da-da.
Yeah, I would and something, and I
okay, I didn't hear that. Okay,
yeah.
So yeah, it should be I would.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good catch. All right. Who else? Arena?
Yes. If I were a leader of my country, I would increase retirement payments to help retired people to have a better life.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Alex, what about you?
If I were the leader of my country, I would increase the investment on education.
Perfect. You would increase investment in education.
In
education. Good. You invest in something. Okay. Charo, what about you?
If I were the leader of my country, I would change all the politicians.
You would just put in new politicians in general.
No, at this moment, it's horrible.
It's horrible. Okay. Maria and Alex, do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, you're all in agreement there. Interesting. All right. Who still hasn't gone?
You?
Me.
Yeah. You didn't say.
You can't put me on the spot like that. Let's see. If I were president of my country, I would make all of our schools bilingual. I think it's one thing of many that I would do.
I didn't understand.
Sorry, I said
Only one language in your country?
yeah.
You're
I mean,
talking
people
about United
only
States,
speak.
right?
Yes. So I'm from the United States. Yeah, and the official language is English, and it's the language that's taught in schools. But I think I would try to make our schools bilingual.
Bilingual. What's lingual, teacher?
Bilingual means someone who is bilingual speaks two languages.
Oh, okay.
Which language would you?
Spanish.
Spanish and English.
And English, yeah. I think it makes sense. I mean, there's so many immigrants in our country, and it's so useful to know.
Nice.
One thing I would do.
Problem in my country,
Yeah. All right. Anyone else that hasn't gone yet? Or did everyone go? Okay. All right. So let's move on to the third conditional, which is trickier. Okay. So we're going to do a speaking activity again on the third conditional that involves some creative thinking. It involves some creative thinking. So I want you to first, so forget about the third conditionals now. I want you to tell me some events that you feel like changed history. So some things that really made a big difference in the world. So events that changed history. Just name them.
Inventing internet changed the history.
Yes, exactly. The internet was invented, let's say.
Wheel.
Engine, maybe.
Okay, the wheel was invented. Let's see, invented. I'll say man invented the engine. Okay, others?
The energy.
What energy?
In outlets, electrical outlets, for example.
Okay. We invented electricity. Or let's say, I'm going to use a different verb. We began using electricity. Okay, good. And what about some other things? So maybe not inventions, maybe when important people were born, when certain important events took place, things like that. Where are the history buffs in this class?
When Hitler were a chancellor of Germany.
Okay. All right, so Hitler was the leader of Germany. Okay.
When Mustafa attained Verplank.
Let's say, okay, we'll do that one. I'll say we'll have one of them be Mustafa attended his first Verbling class. Okay. An event that changed history forever. Okay. Any others? And think of one more at least, one or two more.
I think virtual classes.
Okay. So like online learning, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. So, or we can say virtual classes. People started taking online classes or virtual classes. Okay, and we have some nice additions from the chat. The birth of Jesus and Muhammad and the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, good. All right, change BCE before Common Era to BM before Mustafa. I don't know who Jake is, but I like him. He's funny. Okay. All right, any others?
The illustration philosophers?
The illustration philosophy. Do you mean the Enlightenment?
The philosophers that belong to the Enlightenment period.
Okay, so
17th, 18th century.
Okay, we'll just say the Enlightenment happened. Okay. Any others?
Maybe civil wars in some countries.
Yeah. So do you want to use Spain, for example?
Spain, for example.
Okay. All right, so this is perfect. So these are all events we've come up with that changed history, right? Sorry, I'm reading Jake's comments. Okay, events that changed history. They really changed the course of our world, right? They made things quite different. So I want you to imagine, and of course to do this you will use the third conditional. I want you to imagine how the world would be different, or how the world would have been different if these things hadn't happened. So for instance, with number one, if the internet hadn't been invented, we wouldn't have been able to use verbling.
Why you use negative, teacher? Why you are using negative? Why?
Just because the example was, I don't know. Because these things are all things that did happen, right? They happened. It's a fact. So we have to use negative if we want to imagine an alternate history.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right, so let's start with number one. You can give me an alternate version.
Number one.
So number one, the internet was invented.
If the internet wasn't invented, the globalization wouldn't have happened. Globalization, you know, like what's the other word for it?
Globalization is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so almost perfect. Globalization. Okay, if the internet hadn't been invented, so we have passive here, which is an added challenge, hadn't been invented, globalization wouldn't have happened. Very nice. Very nice. Good. Number two. Can someone think of an alternate scenario for number two? So number two is the wheel was invented. How would the world be different or have been different without the wheel?
I don't know. I prepare a sentence for my for my history facts.
Okay, well, you can do the one about yourself.
I can do it?
Not yet. After.
Not yet. Okay.
Be patient.
Ali, go. It is your fact.
Okay.
If wheel hadn't been invented, we would be still walking.
We would still be walking. Good. And Maria, this is an example of what you were saying, right? Where we combine second and third conditionals. And that's fine, right? If the wheel hadn't been invented, so it starts as a third conditional, we would still be walking, right?
Okay.
Because it's an effect that continues into the present.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense? So just so everyone can see that it's something we do quite naturally. You could also use a full third conditional, but we tend to do this with effects that continue into the present.
Okay, okay.
Good. All right, let's see. Let's skip down to number 6, so Mustafa can answer his question. So the event number 6 is Mustafa attended his first verbling class. Mustafa, tell me how the world would be different if you hadn't done that. Oh, and he's not there. Mustafa, are you there?
I am there,
you're
but
there, you're there.
I don't think the world will change. Okay.
How would your life be different?
Oh yeah, my life, yes. If I had not attended the verbling class, okay, I would have not learned more about English.
Perfect. Good. If I hadn't attended the verbling class, I wouldn't have learned more about English. Okay, great. Anyone else? If Mustafa had never attended his first verbling class. Or if you had never...
If Mustafa hadn't attended the verbling class, nobody would have asked a lot of questions to teachers.
Why?
That's true. Mustafa is a talker. He likes to talk. No, but you always have interesting things to say, so.
Yeah, we learn something.
We always learn something new, yes. Yes. I liked that one. That was good. And also, if you could say, Ali, if Mustafa had never joined verbling classes, you never would have met him, right? Okay, good. And let's see, Alex, why don't you tell me how the world would be different without the Enlightenment?
If the Enlightenment hadn't happened,
good,
the world wouldn't be like it is nowadays.
Okay, and how would it be different?
Oof. Well, thanks to the Enlightenment, the French Revolution happened, the United States independence happened, so many things. The creation of the nations, the Universal Declaration of
Human Rights.
Of human rights, all these things.
Okay, so all of those things wouldn't have happened if the Enlightenment hadn't happened. Okay, good. All right, so unfortunately we are just about out of time for today's class. I wish we could have done a little bit more discussion with the third conditional, but I always end up explaining more than I intended to. So,
teacher, just one last question.
Yes.
You are
proving Ali's point.
We were talking about facts. Can we use the third conditional to in fact something not fact?
Third conditional is always about unreal situations.
Okay.
So, like, when all of these, we've been talking about an alternative past. So it's something that didn't happen and could never happen because it's in the past, right? It's unreal.
Okay.
Mustafa never ask questions. It's impossible. Third condition.
I know. Okay, good. All right, so thank you all so much.
Thank you.
feel free to message me with any further questions. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you sometime soon in class. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Mustafa.
Ali, still.
Don't be angry with me, okay? I'm just joking.
No, I am not angry actually. Just it made me a little bit confusing when she talked about negative thing.
Yeah, it's I don't know, complicated topic. Second conditional and third conditional. It's very similar each other, you know.
To be honest with you, I hate grammar rules, but I don't know. I just attended. I don't know. It seemed like something normal. I can do it without grammar rules or something like this. If I had not. I asked her at the last. It's still because she listed the fact, only the fact thing. She said the fact that changed the history. Okay.
Yeah.
So can we do that with something unfact, something not fact? Actually, it's not real. She said we are using this to just to unreal thing and something not happen.
No. You just think if those things not happen, imaginary. You know, human discovered the wheel, for example.
Yep.
If human hadn't discovered the wheel, what would happen?
Oh, okay. Yeah, clear now.
Okay, you just imagine if wheel hadn't been discovered.
Yeah, clear. Yeah, clear now. But I think also she made like some slide is mistake, had mistake in it. That's she said like second conditional. I asked her about that. Second conditional, uh, present, sorry, past to future. But
No.
she was no second conditional past to future.
No, second conditional is present and future.
If I had a lot of money, Ali, if I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house. If I had.
Yes,
It is past.
It's not about past. You can still buy a house if you had a lot of money. You know?
No, I don't know. Actually, Ali, but if I look, I know what you mean. You mean the understand the meaning of the sentence, but the structure of sentence. If I had.
Yeah, structure is looks like in the past, but you are talking now. You know?
Yeah, now it's clear. I asked her that question, but maybe she did give me the exact answer. But now I understand, Ali. Thank you.
Yeah, it's small differences between, I think, third and second conditional. You know, it's very difficult to realize differences between them.
Okay, Ali. So the first one, the first conditional. If it rains tomorrow, we will not come. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's present and future.
It's about present, but you are making a plan, maybe after 2 hours or about tomorrow. You know?
Okay.
Actually, what's that? I hear myself.
Yeah. What? Sorry.
Oh,
You are hearing yourself?
yeah, a whirling page was open,
Okay.
and the I don't know. I told you something, and I heard myself again.
Oh, we are live.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
Okay. Yes. let's cancel that. Okay. Okay. See you, Ali.
Okay, so why
This is
why did the
this is
teacher make didn't make it